Hey, what's up guys? Chief Pat here, and today bringing you guys a brand new Clash Royale video. And today we're going to be playing one of the strangest decks I've seen inside of Clash Royale, and it's actually a deck that I've seen on the top of the leaderboard. Now, with the changes to a couple of the cards inside of this deck, namely the Log, the Skeleton Army, people have been playing it a lot more, and it actually involves the Rocket as well. So a really strange deck with no defenses, no Zap spell, no Poison spell, and honestly not even a tank. So it's really just a strange deck today, and I wanted to play it inside of a couple of videos just to figure out what it's all about. So also, you can see this deck runs the Rocket, and this is the first deck I've ever played after playing this game for about a year to where it runs the Rocket. I almost never use the Rocket inside of any of my decks, but as you can see with the changes to the Elixir Collector, it makes the Rocket that much better, because normally when you Rocket an Elixir Collector, you lose 1 Elixir, but now that the Elixir Collector costs 6, it actually ends up being an even trade, and you get all of that free damage against the tower. So things are looking pretty amazing for me right now. That one Rocket did about 700 damage, and now I've got a strange push going. I've got the Hog Rider plus the Ice Spirit. He's going to end up zapping the Ice Spirit down and seeing as it went down because the tower already damaged it. Not going to be able to do too much right there. Skeleton Army only costing 3 Elixir is going to demolish that Prince, and meanwhile down the right-hand lane, that Mega Minion is going to be able to do almost nothing. So already you can see how this deck works. It's a lot of chip damage onto the towers. Look at the Skeleton Army, by the way, just demolishing that left-hand side. And after you chip the tower down far enough, you can use the Rocket, which at max level does 717 damage, to destroy your opponents and take them out. In fact, I've seen a lot of people play this deck to where all they do is they play defense and use the Rocket on cycle, which personally I think is a pretty dirty way to play. But it is something that exists right now, and I guess a lot of people are taking advantage of that. And already the Hog Rider and the Log combo, just predicting a defense, took out that right-hand tower, and things are looking pretty good so far. Now again, Skeleton Army costing 3 Elixir. I can use that on everything, but instead I'm just going to drop a Rocket, which will kill the Prince as well as the Mega Minion. Give me some insane value right there. Meanwhile, the Ice Spirit and the Giant aren't going to be able to do too much. So that 6 Elixir Rocket took out a 5 Elixir Prince and a 3 Elixir Mega Minion, and just like that, that's enough for my opponent to rage quit due to that 2 Elixir positive trade, and we even damaged the Giant right there. So the Rocket's such a versatile card on both offense and defense. You can use it to destroy some big pushes, as well as you can use it to do work on offense and finish off towers, take out Elixir pumps, or even make better positive trades. If your opponent plays like a Wizard or a Musketeer in the very back, you can use the Rocket to take those out as well as damage the tower. And as you can see, 3 crowns to 0, and my first ever super magical chest on either account. I've played over 1,000 battles combined on Chief Pat and Chief Pat 2, and this is the first time I've ever gotten a free super magical chest. Wow, that feels pretty amazing. It is on my Chief Pat account, so I already have fully maxed out cards basically, except for the Mega Minion and the Ice Golem. But getting that super magical chest is legit. Now I know my account isn't cursed, and thank you to the Clash Royale gods for hooking me up with that super magical chest. I'm going to go ahead and set that up to open. It takes 24 hours to open a super magical chest. If you guys have never had one, that's definitely how long it takes, unfortunately. And let's go and get into the next battle. Looks like we're going to be running against an air deck. He played the Baby Dragon, the Inferno Dragon, as well as the Mega Minion. And fortunately for me, plenty of counters. I use my Skeleton Army as a defense for the Inferno Dragon and the Mega Minion. You guys are probably like, why the heck would you play the Skeleton Army? It only targets ground, obviously, but the fact that there's so many skeletons makes it so he has to use his Inferno Dragon and his Mega Minion for a long time on that side of the map to be able to even get through those Skeleton Army. And in the meantime, my tower's shooting them down, so in fact, the Skeleton Army does counter those cards in that scenario. So things are looking okay. Elixir is fairly even. I might have a small advantage right now because I got my Princess down. I'm filling up to about 10 Elixir. Ice Wizard's going to go down the right-hand side, and let's go and play the Hog Rider and the Skeleton Army as well. Now, a really nice Fireball by him is going to take out most of my stuff, and what actually was supposed to be like an amazing push and one that could have put the game in our favor permanently ends up being a massive Elixir win for him. I don't think we got any damage off against that right-hand tower. His Mega Minion will die though, and now we got to be a little bit worried going into the rest of the battle. I thought we had it pretty much down, but it looks like that didn't happen. I do have the Rocket in my hand. I could try to combo the Rocket with my Hog Rider and predict where his Barbarians are going to be. So let's just go ahead and start with the Mega Minion. He drops a Lava Hound on the top left, which means we need to get aggressive down this right-hand lane because he probably doesn't have a lot of Elixir to counter what I have going on. So again, Hog Rider is going to run down the lane. I don't have my Log available just yet, so my Princess and Mega Minion are going to do work against the Barbarians. Meanwhile, down the left-hand lane, I've got the Mega Minion and the Ice Wizard taking on on that Lava Hound, doing as much damage as possible as the Princess launches away down the right-hand side. Again, Skeleton Army is going to counter the Baby Dragon and the Inferno Dragon, just giving him enough of a distraction to where he can't just destroy me. And now that the Lava Hound's popped, he's actually doing pretty decent work down this lane. However, the Ice Spirit will clean up that Inferno Dragon, and all in all, we have a massive lead going into the last 30 seconds. And since that tower's at about 700 HP, you guys know what that means. The Rocket will take it out, giving us the first crown of the game. Alright, so at this point, just have to play defense. I'm guessing this will be his final push of the game. Skeleton Army's going to go down the left-hand side. Ice Wizard as well. Again, look at that Skeleton Army do work, distracting both of his damage-dealing units. He can't do anything about those, and a perfectly placed defensive rocket will smash those air units to pieces. Log's going to knock back those barbarians. Ice Spirit, Princess, Log, Ice Wizard. I've got everything in the book defending against that air push. Good game, well played, and that is going to knock out the air deck fairly convincingly and be a 1 crown to 0 victory. So that was actually against Hyphonics, who's I think he's a streamer who's going to be, he should be at the King's Cup tournament, I think broadcasting. So it'll be fun to play against him there maybe in some warm-up matches. But that was it, 23 trophies, 1 crown to 0, a well-played match. And let's go ahead and go to the next match where we're going to be rocking against a level 13. All right, so starting hand for this deck, generally you want to play like the Ice Wizard, the Princess, and then counter what your opponent's going to play, or you can play the Ice Spirit and then play the Princess or the Ice Wizard. I'm actually going to rocket down the Princess right here, or attempt to. That was a terrible rocket right there. So I'm going to pay the price for that, and instead of having my Princess free on the right-hand lane, the Princesses are going to cancel each other out right there. Now, giant balloon push obviously is what this guy was saving up for. I think he even wasted a little bit of elixir. Let's go and play our Ice Spirit to freeze everything in its tracks. Skeleton's army's making its way down the left-hand side. The Skeletons, if unaccounted for, will do massive damage to that left-hand tower. Take a look at those Skeletons beating that tower down into pieces, and the Skeletons actually were spooky enough to take out that tower all by itself. And I think Jake Cody surrendered this battle. He saw the Skeletons in his face. He didn't know what to do, and because of that, I guess my Hog Rider, Princess, Log, and Ice Wizard combo are going to finish off this game and give me a 3 crown to 0 victory. Strange battle. He waited a long time to play his cards down the left-hand lane. I think he wasted like 3 elixir towards the very beginning. Not sure if he was playing on his own account or maybe if someone stole his iPad and played for him, but that's going to be 32 trophies, 3 crowns for yet another battle. Let's hop into one more battle and try this deck out. So starting off, we do have both starting hands that I like. We've got the Ice Wizard as well as the Princess. He does have a fully maxed out Hog Rider, so we do have to worry about that. Instead of playing my Princess, I play my Skeleton Army. Debatable whether that was the right play or not. And now I'm going to go for a counter push down the left-hand lane. I've got the Log going down as well, just in case he drops anything, but unfortunately not really going to do too much. Hog Rider will get frozen onto the tower, but it will do enough damage to take that tower down fairly low. And because of the fact that his tower was frozen and his wizard and his Ice Wizard and Princess really don't do that much damage, we got a pretty substantial lead in the very beginning. And now I'm going to play the Mega Minion and the Hog Rider and the Ice Spirit to stop this Hog Rider in its tracks. So Hog Rider is going to get a single hit off against the tower, not too bad at all. Log's going to go down to take out the Princess. His Princess will need to be accounted for, so let's drop our Ice Wizard right on top of her. And now she shouldn't be able to get another shot off, or maybe she will. That is unfortunate right there. And honestly, I thought we'd have a bigger lead going into the rest of the battle. However, he does have to play a Princess to counter my Ice Wizard. I'm going to fire this rocket, hopefully a little bit more accurate than the last one. It ends up a perfect shot onto the tower. So tower's down to 148 HP. And so long as we can defend after spending 6 elixir on that rocket, I think we are looking pretty spectacular going into the rest of this. And take a look at this log. This log is going to be so juicy. I have to throw the thumbs up. Look at it absolutely erase everything in its path. Mega Minion's going to do work against the Hog Rider. Tower's down to 148 HP. I'm going to wait for him to go down that left-hand lane to counter that Mega Minion. As soon as he drops the Ice Wizard, let's go on the counter attack with a Hog Rider as well as a set of Skeleton Army. And he's going to drop his own Skeleton Army, but my Skeletons were placed earlier. His Skeletons had like a half-second timer to spawn, which means look at those Dutes go down that right-hand lane, demolish that tower. He throws out a cry face because he knows he's in massive trouble. And this game is practically over. One Princess shot to kill that tower. Mega Minion down the right-hand lane to kill the Princess. He's just going for the Crown Tower right now by dropping that rocket. I'll play the Hog Rider as well as the Ice Spirit, and hopefully this will be the end of the game, as he still keeps dropping some stuff on defense. Fairly annoying, but I can't blame the guy as he's trying to protect his King Tower. and protect his base. However, it's not going to be enough. That's going to be the end of the game. 3 crowns to 1. He did get 1 crown towards the crown chest, but guys, that was the juiciest log I've ever thrown. That felt good getting the Ice Spirit plus the entire skeleton army and the Hog Rider inside of a single roll. 3 crowns to 1 for this pretty crazy deck, as well as my first super magical chest ever, which I might have to tie to the Rocket. I guess I need to play the Rocket more, because every time I played the Rocket, I've gotten a super magical chest. And yeah, that is going to do it for this deck. Again, take a look at it in all its glory. You get the Mega Minion, Ice Wizard, Skeleton Army, Ice Spirit, Princess, Log, Rocket, and Hog Rider. Makes one of the strangest decks I've ever seen. Feel free to try it out yourself if you want to. You can, of course, sub some things in if you'd like, if you don't have any of those legendary cards. And yeah, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you smack that like button. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.